Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto content. I hope everybody is having a great week so far. We just got done with Monday, and Monday was a fairly busy day. Currently it is sitting at about 5 a.m. and we have some exciting news to talk about, especially in regards to HBAR's price action lately. So with that being said, let's just jump into it. Currently, the market is up about 5.16%. Bitcoin is trying to get over that 46K mark and actually hold it. Most assets are doing pretty good. We do see Bitcoin up 5%, up 19% on the 7-day. And our little friend down here, HBAR, that is moving behind the scenes in a stealthy manner, is up 6.55%, up 8.67% on the 7-day. Is making some moves, nothing too crazy, honestly, nothing too exciting so far, but I do suspect that we are going to see some exciting news regarding, GC members and stuff that could possibly help the price, but who knows? That's all speculation. Realistically, we are going to be talking about what I can see on the charts, and we're going to address a few things. So first and foremost, I just want to say, I'm going to quote myself and say, hey, imagine HBAR hitting $10 to $15 this bull run. I personally would not be surprised. I just want to ask you guys, for anybody who is watching this video, if you believe that HBAR is a double-digit asset, comment down below your personal price prediction and also like this video, because I believe that HBAR is easily a top 5 asset with a double-digit price tag on its belt. So let's jump into addressing the overall elephant in the room, which is the price action. So we currently just hit 147 days of consolidation, and it looks like we are doing some moves. We just broke above the 100 and the 200-day MA. Nothing too exciting. We broke above the 23-cent zone, or the resistance zone, I should say, but could not hold it. As per usual, we always break down below it. Now, I want this to play out. I want this, red line that I drew the other day, or it was yesterday, I think, to play out perfectly. I actually want us back up here in the 26-cent zone and possibly have a slight pullback. Nothing too crazy, nothing, too warranting for, for example, panic or anything like that. But I just want to say right now, the main thing that I'm looking for is just a break and hold above 23 cents. We have not seen that in a very, very long time. Now, if I'm being completely honest, what I would actually like to see is something similar to this back in the beginning of June, where we did hit this nice high of 27 cents before coming down and basically, sitting on this zone that we're, trying to fight so much. I want us to sit in here in this channel, trade a little bit sideways, and then have a major breakout again, topping whatever target we hit here. If we hit the top of this line and we kind of, hit a nice resistance point, that's totally fine with me. And then we can basically trade sideways, build a nice foundational support. You guys know I love the foundational support when we do build it, and then we'll have that major breakout. But a lot of people are getting excited for the price action on HBAR. Honestly, people just like to see movement on HBAR just because it hasn't moved too much. But I will say this. This chart looks extremely bullish, especially even on the weekly. This has been building for quite some time. Like, we are above pretty much every single MA. I know you can't really see them because they're not actually on this chart right now. But I just want to say right now that we are looking very good for a nice breakout. And I do think that this is going to continue like this as the weeks go on, where we most likely will see the same sort of pattern playing out, going up and up and up. Now, obviously, I don't think that it will have to go until December or anything like that. We'll most likely see a nice breakout happen eventually during this time. This is pretty much the end of August, so I do think that by September, we should be pretty much on our way above the all-time high and going into price discovery. Now, this is October. Obviously, don't address the dates down here. I'm just kind of showing you what I suspect that we are doing. But I do think that by the middle of September, I do think that we'll basically be on our way to $1. I think that we will be way above this line here, which is our current all-time high, and we will basically be in price discovery. Now, obviously, we have to watch and, clearly see what happens with PA. As you guys can see on the weekly, it's very easy to tell that we are on a nice resistance point. Look we couldn't even break it back here during these weeks of June and even May. So this is a very hard channel to really get above. So once we do get above this and hold that 23-cent zone, I'm just going to say, watch out for the fireworks that do happen after that, because that is a huge indicator of a very bullish breakout. Until we see that, I am not going to be too excited on any sort of price action that plays out. A lot of this, price action that we see is a little bit of a manipulation pump, if you will. And I know a lot of people are going to question that, or, be like, well, why would anybody want to manipulate the price? Well, it's easy, bots run the show for the most part until they don't. And what I mean by that is when we do see those $2 million buys, $2 million sells, it's kind of like a mirror picture. It's basically to keep the price down and keep it stable so that they could accumulate more and more. Also, it's a shorting method too. Like, for example, they'll do a $2 million buy here, have a lot of people, push their buys above that level just to get their buys in, thinking that we're going to go much higher. And then what will happen is the price will jump a little bit, they'll sell, and then rebuy lower once everybody else kind of sells, if you will. Or if, people don't even have to sell if they sell a significant amount. So, shorting methods for bots happens all the time. You could really kind of see it on Coinbase Pro, especially on the order books. So definitely watch the order books closely to see if there is manipulation happening on something like HBAR, because it is very clear to see. And I do think that HBAR is also one of those assets that does see that. Now on the 1 month chart, now this is a very different chart to look at because we are not used to seeing the monthly chart. But when we look at the monthly chart, you can tell that this is a very clear sign of a nice bull flag. This is absolutely bullish. For anybody who wants to look at it on a zoomed in basis, like on the 1 day, yeah, I mean, things don't look that great. This looks just like a sideways trading, like we're going to trade like this forever. But realistically, on the 1 month, this looks extremely bullish. Like, if you guys are new to crypto, just to give you guys an indicator, this is a bull flag. We have that nice, candle going up, and this is pretty much the flag. And guess what happens, right? The flag is waving, and it's going to go much higher and above that all-time high. A lot of people keep doubting it. A lot of people keep saying to me on Twitter, the price isn't moving, the price isn't going anywhere. Guys, just be patient. I really can't tell you guys that enough. I understand, but I just had an asset that I purchased back in, I think it was May actually. It was pretty much during the dip that I thought was gonna, pretty much go back up after, but it didn't. I actually just had that trade currently turn me some profit just yesterday alone. So you guys know, from even my personal standpoint, that patience works. You have to have patience in this game, or else you're just not going to make it. And I'm sorry to tell that for anybody who doesn't have patience or is impatient, or thinks that patience doesn't matter. Well, guess what? It does. So you got to be very patient. You got to look out for what's to come. You got to also be a visionary in this game. You truly do. Now, I just want to say we have some speculation here. I'm not going to, hold anybody accountable, but we could be getting listed on Bitstamp very soon. This is actually very bullish for us because obviously, hey, it would be great to see. Bitstamp is a pretty decently sized exchange, but it's nothing too crazy. A lot of people probably just want to move their HBAR off of Binance. I know I do. I do have some on Binance. I put it on a hardware wallet just recently as well, but I still have a little bit on there just to kind of possibly, sell at a certain point. Now that would just obviously be a profit take. It wouldn't be me selling a significant amount. It's honestly probably like 5% of my bag or anything like that. So I just have a little bit on there, but I do suspect that something is going on with Binance. Who knows what's going on with it? So I don't hold a lot on there anymore. Thankfully, I was able to get all of it off. So with that being said, I have one last subject to talk about, and that is this. Now, shout out to XRP Owl for this. We do see here that pretty much 99% of crypto hasn't seen this, and so forth, whatever. Now, if we read this, we see here, I told you I think we'll have 1 billion a month at some point because people are using it. Now, this is talking about transactions, and overall just kind of, processing transactions. But that has a predictable price. I should say that too. You have to pay in HBARs, of course, like any ledger you pay in your cryptocurrency, but the pricing is pegged to the US dollar. Is the price of my transaction going to go up or down? You don't have to worry about this. It's pegged to the dollar. You'll pay more or less HBARs based on the price, but in US dollars. It's constant. So these are why we're getting a lot of traction in real world companies using it. We also see over here, yes, it was the energy usage per transaction compared to Bitcoin was 1/5 millionth. So we're using 1/5 millionth the energy per transaction, and even compared to a credit card, it's like a tenth or less. Pay attention, guys. We also see here, our council has several banks on it. The oldest bank in South Korea and the biggest one in Africa, and one of the oldest financial institutions in Japan are on the council. And it's not just banks. You talked about payments. FPOS is a household word in Australia. They're doing payments, and of course, they've been doing payments non-blockchain ways for a long time. But they're now part of the council, and they're using Hedera. They're building on Hedera to do that. Or to do payments. So you pay at the store using EFTPOS, which is every Australian apparently knows that name, and it will be flowing through Hedera. So I think that this is exciting. We also see this. So it is 10,000 transactions per second is what we've slowed it down to. It can go a lot faster. It is asynchronous, Byzantine fault tolerant, which really does mean a level of security that you don't always have. And its math proofs of that have been checked by computers by Carnegie Mellon and other people, and it is governed well. The governance is transparent. You know who the governors are. They're spread around the world. They're large organizations that care about their reputations, and anything they do wrong will be known, and they act as checks and balances on each other, and they're in different countries under different governments, and so in that sense, it is decentralized governance and transparent governance. Those are the key features. Now, I just also want to say, he also says, and I'll say it again, so that everybody can piggyback on it, HBAR is one of the few that can usurp Bitcoin. Top 5 asset, 100%. I totally agree with this, and, XRP Owl gets a lot of slack. He doesn't really get a lot of overall, you really need to give credit where credit is due, and he does not get enough credit for what he does, for even the XRP community. But when we talk about, HBAR, yeah, HBAR is all the way down here at number, 52. To make its way all the way to number 1 to flip Bitcoin, I do think that will happen at some point in time, most likely in the next 9 years by 2030. But by that time, the price of HBAR to flip Bitcoin is going to be astronomically higher. It's going to be probably, a triple-digit plus asset at that time. And I'm looking in the future, guys. I'm holding long-term because I do know the power behind HBAR. And if you guys do know the power behind HBAR, you would be hodling long-term as well. I'm not thinking short-term. I don't really care about greed right now. Guys, I'm sitting comfortably. I'm doing things, I'm doing things on the side that also make me money. So I'm not too worried about selling my HBAR at, whatever dollar amount. Obviously, yeah, I'll take profit at $10. I'll take a significant amount. Most likely sell a large amount at $10. And rebuy the dip during the bear market, because guess what? Yes, a bear market will also affect HBAR no matter how much it is utilized. Until it is being utilized on a massive scale where we're doing, billions and billions of transactions a day, week, whatever, then, that's where you kind of worry about selling. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. Like I said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.